This presentation does not relieve the user operator from the responsibility of obtaining, reading, and fully understanding the applicable operator's manual provided by the manufacturer. This manual should be located in a plastic compartment located on the turntable. If the manual is not available, one must be obtained and kept with the machine. JLG Industries Incorporated, manufacturer of JLG aerial work platforms, presents electric boom lift safety. We will cover operations unique to the 30E, 35E, N35E, 40E, N40E, and 45E series boom lifts. The purpose of this presentation is to provide the operator with the operating procedures essential for the promotion of proper machine operation for its intended purpose. The operator of the JLG electric boom lift must not accept operating responsibility until instructed by a qualified person. The operator's manual has been read and understood, as well as having operated the JLG boom lift under the supervision of a qualified operator. In addition, the operator and employer are responsible for complying with federal, state, local, or provincial rules and regulations covering the proper use and operation of this JLG product. If there is a question on application and/or operation, contact the Product Safety and Reliability Department at JLG Industries Incorporated, area code 717-485-5161. We'll break this presentation into several parts. This will include a daily walk-around inspection, controls and a daily functional check, electric boom lift operation, and safety precautions. Prior to the operation of the JLG electric boom lift, let's complete a walk-around inspection. These machines are representative of JLG electric boom lifts. Your lift may be a different model or series, but the inspection is virtually the same. The walk-around inspection must be a common practice with any safety-conscious equipment operator, and an equipment check will always be made before any use. A complete inspection procedure is outlined in the operator's manual, so let's begin the inspection just like the manual specifies. On each of the following items being checked, make sure that there are no loose or missing parts, that they're securely fastened, and that no visible damage exists, in addition to any other criteria we mentioned. The platform assembly and platform mounting pins. Make sure there's no visible damage. The foot switch is in good working order, not modified, disabled, or blocked. The platform control console, switches and control lever. Placards legible. The control lever and switches must return to neutral. The control lever lock functions properly. The emergency stop switch functions properly and control markings are legible. The flyboom nose and platform support. Ensure this item is free of debris, obstructions, and other problems. The rotator motor and rotator cylinder. Check the motor and cylinder pins. The hydraulic hoses undamaged and not leaking. The slave cylinder. Check the pivot pins, barrel, rod, and hoses. Hydraulic hoses are undamaged, and hoses and cylinder are not leaking. Check the boom sections and lift cylinders and master cylinder. Check the pivot pins. Make sure the hydraulic hoses are not damaged and are not leaking. Check the telescope cylinder and power track. Check the limit switches. They must be operable. Check the drive motor, brake, and hub. There must be no evidence of leakage. Check the hydraulic oil filter housing. There must be no visible signs of leakage. Check the hydraulic pump and reservoir. There must be no hydraulic leaks. Check the hydraulic fluid level with the system shut down and the boom in the stowed position. Make sure the breather cap dipstick is secure and working. The turntable bearing and swing motor worm gear. Make sure there's evidence of proper lubrication. No loose bolts or looseness between the bearing and the structure. Check the battery compartment. Batteries must have proper electrolyte level. The cable should be tight with no visible damage or corrosion. Check the cowling and latchings. All cowling, doors, and latches must be in working condition. Check the ground controls. The switches should be operable. Make sure the emergency stop switch functions properly. All decals and placards should be in place. Check the battery charger. There should be no visible damage. Check the wheel and tire assembly. There should be no loose or missing wheel bolts. If you find a cut, rip, or tear in the tire that exposes sidewall or tread area cords, measures must be taken to have the tire or tire assembly replaced. Check the air pressure of pneumatic tires against the pressure stenciled on the side of the lift or on the rim assembly. Replacements must be the same size, ply rating, load range, and weight of the tire being replaced. Never replace foam-filled tires with pneumatic tires. Consult with JLG when replacing tires or tire assemblies with the tires other than those supplied by JLG. The counterweights should be attached securely. Check the steer cylinder. There should be no signs of leakage. Check the oscillating axle. Tie rod ends and steering spindles. Make sure they're secure with no visible damage. Check the manual descent valve. There should be no evidence of leakage. Check the frame. Make sure there is no evidence of any damage. In addition to the daily walk-around inspection, be sure to include the following items as part of the routine. Check overall cleanliness. All standing surfaces must have no hydraulic oil spillage or foreign objects. Check placards. Keep all the information and operating placards clean and unobstructed. Cover when spray painting or shot blasting to protect their legibility. Ensure that a copy of the operator's safety and service and maintenance manuals, as well as the ANSI responsibilities, are in the manual storage holder. Check the machine log. Ensure a machine operating record or log is being kept. Check to see that it's current and that no entries have been left uncleared, which may result in the machine being in an unsafe condition for operation. Ensure that all preventive maintenance, including lubrication, has been performed on the boom lift. Use the machine logbook and hour meter to determine the schedule. Check the machine for unauthorized modifications. Modification or alteration of an aerial platform shall be made only with prior written permission of the manufacturer. Start each day with fully charged batteries. To avoid injury, do not operate the machine until all of the items we've mentioned have been inspected and corrected. The models listed on the screen are equipped with control panels that use symbols and words to indicate control functions. On some machines, the control panels may use symbols only. Refer to your operator's manual or the legend beside the control panel for a listing of these symbols and their corresponding functions. A functional check of all systems should be performed after the walk-around inspection is complete. The machine must be positioned on a firm, level surface in an area free of obstructions and overhead power lines. Read and obey all warning placards and operating instructions on the boom lift and in the operating manual prior to operating. Do not operate the boom lift until you have done this. Before we begin to operate the JLG boom lift unit, we need to check that we have the proper personal protection equipment. JLG recommends approved headgear be worn by all operating and ground personnel. After all, your head becomes the highest point when operating a boom lift at all heights. You're responsible for complying with all applicable laws and regulations, their exact wording and requirements as they apply to your work, and the personal protection equipment required to perform your work. Now, let's do a pre-operational check from the ground controls. Emergency stop. This is a two-position red mushroom-shaped switch that furnishes power to the platform ground select switch when pulled out. When pushed in, power is shut down to the platform ground select switch. The platform ground select switch. This is a three-position key-operated switch that supplies power to the platform control console when positioned to platform. With the key held in the ground position, power is shut off to the platform and only the ground controls are operable. When released from the ground position, the switch spring automatically returns it to the off position. When the machine is shut down, both the platform ground select switch and emergency stop must be positioned to off. Rotate. A three-position remote control switch that permits rotation of the platform when positioned to left or right. Level. This is a three-position level control switch that allows the operator to level the platform by positioning the control switch to up or down. Check that the platform self-leveling system functions properly during raising and lowering of the boom. Lower boom lift. This provides for raising and lowering of the lower boom when positioned to up or down. Upper boom lift. This provides for raising and lowering of the upper boom when positioned to up or down. Telescope. This provides for extension and retraction of the upper boom when positioned to in or out. Swing. The swing control switch provides 360 degrees non-continuous turntable rotation. To activate it, position the switch to the left or right. The battery indicator and hour meter. This provides a visual indication of the condition of the battery's charge. The hour meter records machine operating time. Next in your procedure, set the emergency stop switch to the up or on position. Position the selector switch to platform. Before we get to operate the machine, we need to check that we have the proper personal protection equipment. No operation is permitted without an approved fall protection device according to federal OSHA safety regulations. All personnel on the platform must wear an approved fall protection device with a lanyard attached to the platform attachment point. Next, enter the platform using the approved procedure. Do not walk the boom to enter or leave the platform. Ensure the door is shut and securely latched. Attach the lanyard to the designated attachment point. Set the emergency stop switch to the up or on position. Now the machine is ready for operation. The unrestricted capacity of JLG electric boom lifts is 500 pounds. This means that with a platform load of 500 pounds or less, the platform may be positioned anywhere the boom will reach. Know the total weight of yourself and your equipment before operation. Never exceed the rated capacity. Distribute the working load uniformly on the platform floor. Using the platform controls, check all the functions. Perform the following functional checks. Let's check the control lever and toggle switch operation before we start. The control lever is equipped with a detent lock, which prevents movement of the control lever when in the neutral position. The detent or lock must be lifted in order to move the control lever. When you release the control lever, it should automatically return to the neutral or off position. The toggle switches should also return to the off position when released. Functions controlled by toggle switches are either on or off. Never slam a control switch or lever from neutral to the opposite direction. Always return the switch to neutral. Stop, then move the switch to the desired position. Operate levers with a slow, even motion. The foot switch must be depressed before the boom, drive, or steer functions will operate. Otherwise, these functions will not operate. If the functions do operate without depressing the foot switch, do not operate the lift until repaired. Do not remove, modify, or disable the foot switch by blocking or by any other means. Operate all controls with your foot off the foot switch to make sure no functions are operational. The emergency stop switch is a two-position red mushroom-shaped switch that furnishes power to the platform controls when pulled out. When pushed in, power is shut down to the platform functions. The drive controller provides for driving either forward or backward when positioned to forward or reverse. The controller is ramped to infinitely variable drive speed between fast and slow. Positioning the steer control thumb-operated switch right or left enables steering the machine to the right or left respectively. When the lower boom is raised above horizontal or the upper boom is raised approximately 16 inches above the boom rest, the high drive function will automatically be in low drive. Do not drive with the boom above horizontal except on a smooth, firm, and level surface. Do not drive the machine on grades or side slopes exceeding those specified on the warning placard at the platform. Avoid any terrain which could cause the machine to tip over. Use extreme caution when driving in reverse, when driving with the platform elevated, and when driving with any part of the machine within 6 feet of any obstruction. Check the directional markings on the frame with those by the drive controller. Before driving, make sure the upper boom is positioned over the rear drive axle. If the upper boom is over the steer wheels, steer and drive controls will move in an opposite direction to machine motion.